this late night. We hope you're doing well. And now, if you don't mind, we're going to get to the news. Yesterday was Pete Hegseth's first day of work as defense secretary. And bad news, he's already invaded Margaritaville. President Trump praised British Prime Minister Keir Starmer this weekend and told reporters that Starmer is a, quote, very good person doing a very good job. And Starmer said Trump is the current president of the United States. While speaking last week at the March for Life, Vice President J.D. Vance said, quote, let me say very simply, I want more babies in the United States of America. I guess that's easy to say when you don't have to fly commercial. At his rally over the weekend in Las Vegas, President Trump said that if you call a woman beautiful, it is, quote, the end of your political career. If anybody can think of something worse that someone did without getting canceled, raise your hand. No. The CIA released a new assessment over the weekend that said the COVID-19 pandemic originated from a lab leak in China. And I think we all owe someone an apology, and they're blind. So don't just send an email. You need to do this in person. Costco announced last week they will be switching their food court soda fountains from Pepsi to Coca-Cola. So I guess, thank you? I mean, you know, sometimes it gets one right. That's right, Costco will be switching their food court soda fountains from Pepsi to Coca-Cola, but they assured customers that their hot dogs would still be made from whatever meat $1.50 can buy you. A Massachusetts couple recently had their wedding at Chuck E. Cheese, and now they're thinking they'll wait a while to have kids. In honor of Valentine's Day, Dunkin's will add 2 of its most requested donuts, Brownie Batter and Cupid's Choice, back to its menu. And if you take her to Dunkin' on Valentine's Day, you might as well order those because you're not getting any holes. You know, the famous Valentine's Day expression. How'd your Valentine's Day go? It went pretty good. Did you get any, you know? Nielsen has released its analysis of last year's most streamed television shows. Coming in at number 1, The Menu Screen. And finally, a Philadelphia man over the weekend climbed to the top of a traffic light pole to celebrate the Eagles advancing to the Super Bowl, despite city officials greasing poles to deter climbing. They didn't take into account that Philly residents have spent years building up an immunity to grease. And that was a monologue, everybody. Congrats to the Eagles. Congrats to the Chiefs. We got a great show for you tonight. He is an Emmy and Tony-winning actor, you know, from Cabaret and The Good Wife. Currently, he's hosting The Traitors on Peacock. Now in season 3, our friend Alan Cumming is on the show, everybody. And he is the National League Rookie of the Year and starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm incredibly excited to say that Paul Skeens will also be joining us. Now, this is a true fact. The last time we had Emilio Vitolo of the wonderful New York restaurant Emilio Bellato here, he set the record for most bleeped curses on this show. So stick around for some cooking with Emilio Vitolo, and my brother and I talked to the always funny Sebastian Maniscalco this week on Family Trips. Do give that a listen. Moving on. You know, I read something today that, I'll be honest, it threw me for a loop. It said that there were so many people hopping the turnstiles in the New York City subways that the MTA had to start putting spiked panels on the turnstiles to keep people from jumping them. And, you know, got me thinking, what is this world coming to? It got me thinking, you know, I'm getting older. And sometimes I look around and I realize I don't even recognize the world I'm living in anymore. Things are changing every day, and not always for the better. And it's times like these that I think we should take a moment to talk about how things were just a bit more simple back in my day. Back in my day, the New York City subways weren't adding spiked panels to turnstiles to prevent fare evasion. No, sir. Back in my day, the only way to get hurt by a subway turnstile was by swiping your Metro card too fast and taking one right to the nuts. Let's just say I have 3 kids, and based on what happened recently at the Union Square stop, there will not be a 4th. Oh, Rusty, You're fine. You haven't had nuts in years. Back in my day, drones weren't spying on people in New Jersey, Hackensacks. Back in my day, if you wanted to observe someone from New Jersey up close, you just went to the nearest macaroni grill, because odds are at least one of them was having a wedding reception there. And who even sends drones to spy in New Jersey? Oh, great, you caught a 15-year-old with a chin-strap beard doing donuts in a Wawa parking lot. Way to blow the lid off that one, China. Back in my day, we weren't worried about TikTok going dark because of a government ban. Algorithms. Back in my day, we were worried about TikTok going dark because we had Time Warner Internet. Which was so bad, they had to go and change their name to Spectrum. But we see you, Time Warner. We know what you did. And now the movie ticket app Fandango won't let you buy tickets if you try to leave an empty seat between you and the next fella. They're out here cramming strangers together like a goddamn family reunion. Back in my day, if you paid for your tickets, you could sit wherever you wanted. Man needed some privacy, so he could make love to his Dune popcorn bucket in peace. Simpler times. Back in my day, everyone wasn't talking about some hot new color like mocha mousse or brat green or millennial pink. Well, I mean, of course, you don't know what these colors are, Rusty. You're colorblind. And if I may be frank, it makes you seem rather undignified. You wouldn't know a mocha mousse from a saddle beige, a tawny birch from a sandstone umber. To you, everything is just brown. You better not leave something brown on the kitchen floor. All right, fine, Rusty. What's your pick for this year's hot new color? Neon gray? How do you feel that colorblind joke played? Yeah. Oh, man, remember when the writers came in and they're like, Eureka, we got one. But you and I knew, we knew it wouldn't play. That's right, because you're a good boy, and I'm a good boy too. And we support the writers because we work for them. Back in my day, people weren't talking about third places where you go to relax and get away from the stress of work at home. Back in my day, if we needed something like that, we'd just start a second secret family a few states over. Speaking of which, Loretta, if you're watching this, I miss you. And the kids, Jablin, Trey Biscuit, and Flobert, go to bed. It's late. Back in my day, Gen Z wasn't buying flip phones for nostalgia purposes. Back in my day, the only people using flip phones were drug dealers. And even they upgraded to iPhones by season 3 of Breaking Bad. And if you still had a flip phone because you dropped your iPhone in the toilet so many times, you just couldn't stand to go back to the Apple store and hear the guy say, "I'm sorry, did you say 7 times?" Back in my day, a banana taped to a wall wasn't selling at Sotheby's for millions of dollars. Back in my day, if you wanted expensive artwork, you did it the old-fashioned way by getting your crew together and planning the ultimate heist. First, you'd call on your right-hand man, O'Reilly, a charmer who specialized in security systems. Then there was Jean-Claude, whose French accent was strong, but not as strong as his cut purse skills and ability to lift the all-access keycard off the museum manager. Then, of course, there's, Patricia Brannigan, a real minx. She'd use her feminine wiles to seduce and poison the on-duty guard. And then rounding out the team, a faithful dog. That's right. You'd send into the museum when the coast was clear to snatch the painting with its teeth and rush out. And that's how I got this beauty. Should have thought that one out a little more, Rusty. Back in my day, Progresso wasn't offering chicken noodle soup flavored lozenges. Cough-a-doodle-doo. Back in my day, if you wanted a lozenge that tasted disgusting, you just had a regular, normal lozenge. The way it worked was the taste in your mouth was so bad, you just forgot how much your throat hurt. Another one that played hot in the room, Rust. It's like an inverted graph. Everything they were excited about is eating you know what. Yep. Back in my day, there wasn't some kind of water damage in the ceiling of my bathroom. Sorry, wait a minute, what's this? Hey, Ben, there's no water damage in my bathroom. Are you using back in my day to air some kind of personal grievance of yours?
Yeah, you got me, Seth. The water damage is in my bathroom. But my super won't answer my text about it, and I think he might watch this show because he lives below me, and he's always watching TV real late at night, which I know because the walls are super thin, and this is the only way I think I can get through to him.
All right, fine. Just say what you got to say.
Ferdinand. It's been 3 weeks since the hole in my bathroom ceiling opened up, and lately it's been dripping a kind of yellow goop into my sink, which can't be a good thing. It just can't be. And you won't respond to my texts or my calls. And when I knock on your door, I hear you get up out of your lazy boy and look through the peephole and then sit back down and recline it. And the whole while, the ceiling hole is getting bigger and wetter. And sometimes I think I can hear it wheezing. It's your job to do something about it. It's your job, Ferdinand. Have a heart. I don't know what black mold is, but in my dreams, I'm swimming in an ocean of it until it consumes me and I wake up in an ice-cold sweat. On Halloween, when you brought your niece Tatiana up to my door to trick or treat, I gave her a king-size Snickers bar, and you gave me a fist bump and you said, "You the man." If you really believe that, come upstairs and do something. If not because it's your job, then because out of decency, as a person who has the ability to help, please help.
I think, yeah, that's fair. And Ben, do you need a place to stay until the issue is resolved?
Yeah, that would be great.
Well, I've heard, really good things about the YMCA, so, maybe check that out. Back in my day, chess grandmaster Magnus Carlsen wasn't getting kicked out of chess tournaments for wearing jeans, Pawn Stars. Back in my day, chess players had class and decorum. If they got kicked out of a tournament for anything, it'd be because they were allegedly cheating by having someone secretly tell them the correct moves using a remote-controlled vibrating butt plug. Like that one guy who beat Magnus Carlsen. No, Rusty, it's a real story. You can look it up. Well, I don't know how it worked. Maybe some kind of Morse code, I would think. Like, one buzz for yes, two buzzes for no, that sort of thing. Would I ever use a Morse code butt plug instead of cue cards? No. Finally, back in my day, the Black Eyed Peas weren't canceling their Vegas residency before it began. Back in my day, we weren't worried about canceled residencies. We were worried about getting canceled for going to karaoke and singing the original version of Let's Get It Started, which was called Let's Get... Oh, no, Rusty, it's okay. You can see that word. Again, didn't you hear? Kamala lost. Oh. So what you're saying is that despite the changing political climate, it's incumbent upon each of us to uphold our own moral compass, that the shifting winds of political power don't absolve us each of the responsibility to uphold our own ethical standards. The morality is not dictated by the times, but by the choices of the individual. Well, Rusty, that is quite profound indeed. You're like a modern-day Socrates. If Socrates was afraid of thunder and ate his own vomit from time to time. Anything you want to add? Yeah. I'm sorry I had to do that, but sometimes this grumpy old Gus has got to get a grab. And this has been Back in My Day. We'll be right back with Alan Cumming, everybody.
Ferdinand, please, don't ignore me. I know you're going to help.